Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today we're doing a fuel pump replacement on a 2012 Fiat 500. So let's get into it. We just got a used OEM pump off of eBay. The problem with the pump that's in the car is it's leaking fuel from the top. The plastic cracks and it starts seeping through, and it smells inside the car and stuff. So that's what we're addressing. The car still runs just fine. But this whole job is done underneath this back seat cushion. There's a 15 right here and a 15 right there. We're going to get that off and lift that back seat off and access the pump. Alright, so you just saw me remove that tape. The customer added that to reduce the smell. But this is just 4 Phillips screws. So I'm gonna take those off right now. Alright, so on these Fiats, they have these like safety clips that you need to push out of the way. This one here, you need to push it backwards. And then there's one here, right there, that needs to be pulled out on both sides. So I'm going to do my best to show you how to do that. Okay, so as you just saw, these clips here have to be moved back, and then you gotta push this button and lift at the same time. So I used a couple tools. Like I used this tool to push on the button, and then I used these angled pliers to kind of pry it up as I did that. Otherwise, you're gonna be fighting with it. Same thing with this one. You push this button, spreads those, and you can work it off. And this one here, you push like this, and it disengages from the sides of the hose here. So what I'm going to do next is spray some WD-40 on all these little tabs right here, just to give it some lube, and then we're going to hit it with a hammer to work it off, because you need to spin it counterclockwise. Would have been fine for a while, I think. it. Okay, so this job is usually a little bit easier when there's no gas, but the gas is filled all the way up on this. So it'll be a little tricky not to spill in the car, which is why I had a coworker help me. But on the lock ring here, I just basically took a tool like this, got it into one of these notches, and just smashed it with a hammer a few times. Adding the WD-40 really helps. If you don't add that, you gotta hit that thing really hard. It feels like you're gonna break something. So on this pump here, this is where it was seeping from. We cleaned it up before I moved it, which is why it was so clean. But this here is like a little container that holds fuel. So you gotta be careful of it spilling out. If you install a new one of these pumps, you usually have to install this, but the used one came with it already installed. And this is yours for your sending unit for the gauge. You can see this is spring loaded. So that ring will pop up with some force. And then when we go to install it, we gotta push down to get the ring seated. But the install is pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna film putting the new pump in, and then the rest of it's the reverse. Okay, so as you saw, that took a bit of convincing because this rib here has to be in just the right spot in the middle underneath here. If you do this job, you'll see what I'm talking about right there. So I just had to keep hitting it till it went under there like that. I sprayed some more WD. But you saw how I did all these clips. But everything's on here now. Good idea just to start it real quick, make sure it runs before you put the back seat back on in the cover. Alright, job well done. Alright, so not too hard, takes a little bit of patience dealing with the ring, getting these clips off, but not too hard of a job. We don't have any leaks here, so I'm going to put all this back together. It's just the reverse of what we did earlier. Another one done, guys. Thanks for watching.